Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
I don't look at it as a religion, I just look at it as a way of life. Islam is a religion that connects me with humanity in a larger and a much better way.
When I first reverted to Islam, we're all wearing masks. It was during COVID. People come up to me and they speak Arabic. And I'm like, I don't even speak no Arabic. I said, I'm from the Dominican Republic. To find out that this religion is not just for the Arabs or for the Middle Easterns was a culture shock for me.
This center is the only Spanish-speaking
Que siempre queremos ayudar.
Latino Muslim-led Islamic center in America. So in regards to 20 years of development, building an institution that can outlive us, we hope will be different than just gathering as individuals. We've seen a lot of Latinos transform their lives for the betterment of themselves and their communities after becoming Muslim. I came to America when I was 8 years old, and we lived about 5 minutes away from where this center is now. Gangs were rampant in the early 90s when I was growing up here. I remember drive-by shootings. There were attempts on some of my friends' lives, and some of them passed away, and there was an attempt on my life, and my parents were like, this is not why we brought you to America, so they shipped me back to Colombia at the age of 16. Islam saved my life. When I became Muslim, some of my friends from the neighborhood, they were ridiculing that I went crazy. And they were saying that because they heard that I stopped drinking and smoking and going out to clubs and dealing with the opposite gender in the way we did.
Que yo necesito ayudar.
I don't remember knowing of too many people who were Latino that were Muslim. There was only a few, and they were scattered. For sure, there was no Islamic center led by Latinos. And there was very little material in Spanish, and I think that whatever I was learning, I would go and try to give to some of the people who only spoke Spanish, starting with my father. I just felt like learning and teaching was the thing that I could do to retain the information.
It's very unique.
Mostly everywhere you go, it's either Arabic or English.
People is almost like non-existence. It's almost like they made to her there is people that speak Spanish, they are Muslims.
To have Spanish is just something beautiful. You relate with your heritage. It's easier to understand for a lot of people.
ISPU, the Institute for Social Policy and Understanding, in 2019 conducted a survey, a research here in America, and found that Latinos had grown embracing Islam 700% in the last decade, more than any other ethnic group in America. And part of what we're seeing as to why Latinos are embracing Islam, it's because a lot of our culture, a lot of our traditions are actually rooted in Islam. Before we knew it, Latinos wanted to gather, and then a little class formed, and whatever little I knew I could share, and then it became from 5 to 10 to 20, and then when it reached 200 people that had become Muslim, we couldn't find the place to gather. And in the local mosque, sometimes it was challenging to bring so many people in. And the Muslims didn't even know who Latinos were, let alone Latino Muslims. So all of this change and led to us asking the whole community, do you guys think that we need a center? And everybody unanimously raised their hand and said yes. And it was in 2016 that we opened up a rented center. Years later, here we are in our own place. So we don't only rent now, we own this place. It's 2.5 acres, 10,000 square foot facility. A good majority of us were born to Catholic parents. When I became Muslim, my father looked into Islam and became Muslim. So even though our traditions were from a Catholic background, there's a lot of commonalities with Islam. So what we did was try to build bridges of understanding based on building on commonalities instead of talking about differences.
It's a religion, it's a way of life, and it's for everyone. It's not just for the Middle Easterners or the Latinos. It's God. Belief in God is for everyone.
We don't have another organization exactly like this one that we can follow in its footsteps. We don't have the blueprint. So as we create that blueprint, we're very happy to know that after 20 years, we've come to know a lot from our organic approach of doing things. We're trying to leave this world better than the way we found it. We're glad that we're able to, represent what it means to be, hopefully, the best version of being Latino, the best version of being a Muslim, the best version of being an American that we can be.